rumor talk. Hopefully that doesn't come to fruition, but there's a little bit of rumblings going on around the league. But before we get into chalk talk, Tim, let's jump into the injury report. We got our first injury report. We won't spend a whole lot of time on this. Just want to give everybody an update as this released earlier today. Let's just run through it here real quick, rapid fire. Aaron Banks, limited. Anthony Belton back at practice. He was limited with the ankle. Full participation for Warren Brinson and Javon Bullard, along with Matthew Golden, who had a shoulder evidently. Josh Jacobs limited with an illness. I think that's just carrying over from the other day. Obviously, he played sick, so we're good to go there. Brandon McManus, right quadricep, did not participate in practice, so I think there's a chance we do not have him for the Cardinals game. He usually kick on Wednesday and Fridays. He did not kick today. So for what it's worth, Jacob Monk, Jordan Morgan, both limited. Zach Tom did not participate with the oblique and the back. I want to say this about that too, man. He was very, very vocal this week, or coming out of the game rather, of how painful it was. Tim, I kind of feel like he's probably going to play, but don't expect him to practice much until that thing's fully healthy. That's kind of what I'm thinking there. That's just how I see it. Lucas Van Ness did not participate with the foot, which I think we would all agree is probably going to miss this week. Christian Watson was out there running routes in a limited fashion, but he looks like he's even closer to coming back. I think Matt Schneiden tweeted out, we may see him this week, so we'll see how that goes. Dontavion Wicks limited with the ankle, and Devontae Wyatt with the knee did not participate. I think it's safe to say he will not be playing this week as well. I want to give a shout-out to Paging Dr. Crutch, who became a member here on YouTube. Thanks for the support, sir. Tim, what do you think about the injury report here, man, with Packers?
I think it's good news that Tay Wicks was limited, and clearly the ankle's not super serious. He's practicing in a limited fashion. I think Zach Tom with the oblique in the back not participating. I mean, great point, Clay. I think Zach Tom's at the point where you're not worried about him missing practice all week if that's what it takes to get him in the lineup for Sunday. So I'll take that. McMoney with the quad, I hate to say it, but I had a bad feeling about that. Anytime you got any kind of injury to your kicking leg, not a good look. But hey, we're feeling good about the new guy, right? We made some roster moves and brought him on the practice squad and got rid of our international pathway player. Hey, it is what it is, man. Whatever you got to do to win ball games. I think the big one for me is seeing Big Escalade back there limited now. I'd love to see Anthony Belton back in the fold at some point, but all in all, hey, it's football. It's, week 6 going into week 7, right? What are you going to do? Injury reports full of guys.
Absolutely. Everybody's banged up this time of year. There's no doubt about that. Back to Tom. I want to say this, that maybe the route you want to go there now that Anthony Belton is back practicing and maybe he will be good to go on Sunday. What if you put Zach Tom out there? And again, keep in mind, guys, the week before Zach Tom practiced a little or didn't practice, tried to go out there on Sunday, played one play, could not do it. Didn't practice all week again, went out there on Sunday, played every single offensive snap, but he said it was extremely painful, right? So it feels like you're still trending in the right direction. Don't let him practice all week. Put him back out there. And here's what's cool. If Anthony Belton is available now, plus you got Darian Kennard, let's say you go down there in Arizona, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. You guys know how I feel about this. The worst team in the league could beat one of the best teams any given Sunday. But if you go out there and you jump up to an early lead, maybe a 10-point lead, start to rotate Zach Tom out a little bit and just see if you can, let's just work Belton right in at the right tackle position, or even Darian Kennard. If you feel like you've got the game, I don't want to say in hand, but you've got the game under control. Does that make sense, Tim?
Yeah, get off to a good start, right? Use your starters and then, ease him out, reduce the snap count and pull him out of the game. Throw a Big Escalade out there at right tackle. Why not? Zach Tom is too valuable of a piece to just, run him into the ground at this point in the season, right? Do what you got to do to get yourself in a position to win a ball game, and then, next man up, right? Hope your supporting cast can hold it out down the stretch.
Yeah, Jason Y in the chat says, do you guys know how much or know much about oblique injuries? Do these typically linger? The vibe I'm getting is there's no extra risk of him re-injuring it any worse, Jason, or else he wouldn't be playing. I think it's just a pain tolerance thing. Yep. So, will it linger? Listening to Brian Bulaga talk earlier today, it kind of make you think it would. Although he didn't specifically say oblique injuries linger, he just kept talking about how long the NFL season is. And if you're trying to just muscle through this every single week, it's going to continue to be painful, right? So
Yep.
I don't think there's any chance of him injuring it any further. If that's kind of what you're asking there.
That's
So,
a great answer, right? The injury might not linger, but the pain will.
yeah.
You're not going to get better, you're not going to get worse, but you're definitely going to be playing with some pain. So big salute to Zach Tom for even sucking it up and dealing with it, right?
Yeah, definitely. Now, when we look at the Cardinals side of the injury report, listeners, it's mostly limited. Let's just talk about the did not participate. Kevin Beecham, he had rest, which we're not worried about that. Obviously, he'll be out there playing. DeMarcado, the running back, I think that's the one that dropped the ball and then got. Some
Yeah.
people were acting like the head coach physically assaulted the guy when Ellie. I tell you what, boy, some of these people, when you see a coach get upset and kind of smack his guy in the chest, y'all would not have liked the 90s. I'm just going to tell you
Yeah.
right
You wouldn't
there.
have lasted 5 minutes.
We had coaches. I watched coaches on the sideline grab a kid by the helmet, throw him on the
Oh, I was
ground.
going to say the old grab the face mask and draw
I watched
draw
him,
your attention.
throw him on the ground and drag him across the ground. Get back up, get up. Anyway, not saying it's right. I'm just saying the times have changed. There's no two ways about that. So we'll see if he's good to go. Zay Jones with the knee did not participate, wide receiver. And then the other one I want to mention is obviously, well, look at this. Walter Nolan actually was limited participation. That's interesting. You guys know we were big on Walter Nolan. He's been hurt pretty much all year, so they're looking to get him back some point. I wanted to mention Kyler Murray, though. Kyler Murray's got the foot injury. He did not play last week. He's showing as limited here. So that kind of makes me think he's trending in the right direction. We'll see what his injury or his status is tomorrow for sure. That may be the deciding factor there. So there is your injury report. All right, Tim. I want to dive into a little Warren Brinson. You know what? Let's wait till after. Nah, let's do it now. We better do it now in case the stream goes down. Let's do it. I want to talk a little Warren Brinson. Warren Brinson does not pop up on Chalk Talk, guys. Specifically, but the fact that he filled in there on Sunday, kind of in place of Devontae Wyatt, and it makes you wonder, why was he not on the roster the entire time? You know what I mean? Like he's on the roster, but he hasn't been active on game day. And I think the answer to that is he's truly a three tech. They don't see him as a nose, and they thought Nazir Stackhouse has got that unique body type and play that, hey, we'll have him play nose, so he'll be activated. And obviously, he wasn't even a draft pick. Warren Brinson was. So now that Wyatt goes down, they activate Brinson, and Brinson, Tim, he got 21 snaps with a PFF grade of 84.8, pass rush grade 80.6. I'm telling you, man, I was really, really impressed with Warren Brinson. I'm going to show a couple of clips here. I probably should have set this up different, but I'm just going to show a couple clips. We're going to be quick with it. Here you see on the left here, this is Warren Brinson playing the three tech. That's Devontae Wyatt's spot. Let's watch him roll here. Look at him winning his one-on-one, getting under, getting pressure. That was one of two pressures for Warren Brinson, okay? So there's one of two pressures, and he's coming out of the three tech. On the very next play, not the very next play, but the play we're going to show, now he's in a four tech, Tim, so he's lined up head up on the tackle, right? And you'll see here, he throws a little spin move. He's free to the quarterback. I don't know why he hesitated the way he did, but you'll see he still gets the pressure. So long story short, I just wanted to briefly mention Brinson because we're not going to talk about him on Chalk Talk. I wanted to mention that, Tim, because he has a 12.5% pressure rate on those 21 snaps, which is really, really impressive. Like to come out your very first game and be able to get that kind of pressure on the quarterback, I think it's awesome. I'm really looking forward to seeing what he does moving forward with his opportunities, because I think it's safe to say, Tim, we're going to be without Devontae Wyatt at least one more game, possibly 2 games, including Arizona.
Yeah, and it seems like Warren Brinson is the answer if you don't want to trade Rashawn, or you don't want to trade Rome, or you don't want to, trade for, somebody on that D line at this point. You trust Warren Brinson to maybe go out there, give him, higher snap counts, let him go out, throw him into the fire, right? We've thrown guys into the fire in their rookie year before, and they've responded. And I think Brinson looks like one of those guys that's right on the cusp of like really, really having a breakout performance. You see him there, that last play you show where he hit the spin move, it looked like a hesitation. I wonder if he thought that running back was going to block him or chip him.
Yeah.
He had no idea he was running her out, and all of a sudden there was that, wide open space. You see this with rookies a lot. They're grasping the concepts, they're learning the techniques that the coaches are stressing, And then over time, you see them start to translate it to the game. And I think the more snaps you give a guy like Brinson, the better off he's going to be. And, with Heavy D out of the lineup for at least another week or two, this might be the opportune time to go ahead and let him go out there and cook and see what we can do.
Yeah, I completely agree. Deadfish, this is what I thought too. Deadfish says when he done the spin move, he got a little dizzy. It kind of looked like that, like he was disoriented. Like it's almost like he didn't plan it and wasn't prepared for the spin move. And then when he got,
or it's almost like he doesn't even know how fast he is.
Exactly.
By the time he spun around, he was dizzy.
Exactly, man. So again, Warren Brinson, I think he's shown a lot of promise. And it's only one game. We got to be completely honest with that. But I think moving forward, we're going to get a little bit better idea this Sunday. That's for sure, right?
Yep.
If he does get some more snaps. So I just thought it was impressive, and it said a lot about how the coaching staff felt about him. The fact that he got 21 snaps, because I thought he would not get that many. For whatever reason, they said, "Hey, we like our matchup. Let's throw him out there." And he seemed to play pretty well. Everybody in the chat, let me know if the stream is okay. I'm getting all kinds of notifications that the signal is bad. Just make sure to say, yeah, it looks good, whatever. I just want to make sure that you guys have got a decent quality feed here, because we're going to do it. We're going to jump into Chalk Talk right now. Tim, is there anything at the forefront of your mind before we break down Chalk Talk, maybe that stood out to you, maybe something you're looking for in some of these clips, anything at all you want to hit on before we dive in, man?
Bend, but don't break. Gotta love our defense. Can't wait to see the defense down the stretch. That's on the forefront of my mind for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So thank you guys for confirming that in the chat.